Hi there, I'm Janeen from Club MojoCircle, and today's discussion circle is all about intuition and how do I learn to follow it. So thanks for joining us. After the presentation, we'll do a meditation on intuition, and I hope you stay till the end and enjoy the presentation. Start by looking at what actually is intuition. I know for many, many years I was like, have I got intuition, or is it just instinct, or am I just very observant and I can work out things? But I knew there were times that I just knew things. I just knew something was either going to happen or not going to happen, or, and I sort of question it. It's like, am I just really, really observant? But I like this definition that intuition is a process that gives us the ability to know something directly without any analytical reasoning. So without any thought processes, it's just, it's just a knowing that comes to us. So it bridges the gap between the conscious and the non-conscious parts of our mind, and also between instinct and reasoning. And when I started to sort of recognize that I was, that I really was very intuitive, and I guess started to listen to my intuition more, I started just sort of knowing what sex the babies would be that my friends were having. So, girlfriends that were pregnant. And one day I was out with my then husband and I picked up a little dress and I said, oh, I could buy this for Manny's baby. And he said to me, oh, is she having a girl? And I went, oh, I don't know. And she did have a girl. And I sort of predicted, I think 3 or 4 friends all having girls, which they did over the next, year. And another time I just got this feeling. I woke up thinking about this friend in New York who I hadn't spoken to for a while. And I just went, oh my God, she's pregnant. And I sent her an email and said, I just got this feeling that you're pregnant. And she responded with, oh my God, how did you know? We've just found out. And wow, okay, there's something going on here. This is pretty special. So I started to really listen to that a lot more and recognize that it was telling me something useful. I don't know how useful it was to know the sex of girlfriends' babies before they had them, but hey ho, it was a nice little challenge for me. Maybe it was just me challenging myself to go, hey, listen to this. So where intuition comes from and what it is, there's different views of that, in the psychological and sort of other fields of experts. And, some say it's direct access to unconscious knowledge or our unconsciousness. It's an unconscious cognition. Sometimes it's just an inner sensing. It's, an inner vision, or we hear something or we just feel something. I tend to just feel it. It can be, some people call it inner insight. It's our inner self or our higher self telling us a message, or, some would say our God self or God, depending on, what your belief system is. It can be an unconscious pattern recognition. So what that means is that we might be picking up on information that we've observed, and we recognize the pattern, and therefore we can say, okay, this is what we know. I think that comes more from the psychological fields that, tend not to believe in the other levels of, I guess, the higher self or the inner self. And the last one, it's the ability to understand something instinctively without conscious reasoning. So it's just, there's no thought processes, there's no logic, there's no reasoning. It's just something that we know, we understand, we feel. And if we listen to it, generally we'll find that that comes true, and it was telling us something that was actually really worthwhile to know. So let's look at, I don't know if you've ever looked at sort of the different levels of consciousness or the brain, how the brain works. And in this diagram, we've got the roles and relationships of the mind. So what it has divided, at the top here, with our thoughts and feelings, that's our conscious mind. So that's what we're aware of. It's our thinking self. Then below that, we have the pre-conscious mind, so the intuitive mind with insights and intuition. And this line is our everyday reality. So what's above the line is what we're aware of in every day. What's below the line is what's called our subconscious, which are the habits and the patterns that we've formed throughout our life. And then below that is our unconscious mind. So the things that we're not even aware of. So we might be aware of things that happen with our habits, but not think about them. So we're not consciously thinking about it. But then, below that, we have beliefs and things that drive us that are based, that we're not even, we don't even know it's there. So when we talk about intuition being from our unconscious, it's coming from that level. It's coming from a very deep level of knowing, but not knowing with our head. And so that's to just sort of give you a little bit of a feel as to what I'm talking about when I say conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. So this saying is very, very apt and very good advice. Listen to your own voice, to your own soul. Too many people these days listen to the noise of the world instead of their own intuition. Trust yourself. Always. So you might go, oh, that's great. Yeah, I really want to do that. I want to listen to my intuition. I want to trust myself. But how do I know when it's my intuition telling me stuff? How do I know if it's my intuition or if it's just my mind telling me something that I want to hear? How do I know if I'm making a decision which way to go? And which way is me just saying, oh, that's what I really, really want, and my intuition going, oh, or it's my intuition. Which should I follow? And then we have the other question of what happens when our head or our mind is telling us one thing and our heart is telling us another. So sometimes, especially in relationships, we might, the rationale might go, well, this relationship really isn't very good for you. It's not helping you. It's not functional. You're not getting what you want out of it. But the heart has such an emotional attachment to this person that they go, oh no, I can't live without them. No, we can't do this. And I think, when we're at those sort of dichotomies, that's the hardest place to be, because it's like, well, what really should we listen to? So we have to take that a bit further. Let's look at the reasons why we may not listen to or may not follow our intuition. So the first thing is, are you actually listening to it? Are you listening for it? Are you open for the messages? And then, can you actually hear the messages? So are they coming through to you? And if they are, well, are you paying attention to what those messages are? Or is it come to you, you go, oh yeah, I got this feeling about that, but I ignored it and did it anyway. So do we pay attention? And in that case, do you think you know better? So is there part of the ego or the mind or the egoic part of the mind that's like, oh, no, I'm going to do this instead. Then the next question is, are you taking more notice of what other people are saying than what you know yourself? That's a really big one, because often we do. Often we go and, I mean, it's really good to ask for advice. And I still ask for advice. If I'm not sure, I might ask for advice and I listen, but I'm careful who I choose to ask for advice from, because I only ask for advice that people I have, you know, complete respect and trust in, and I know that they understand me. Because a lot of people will give you their advice about what's right for them. And these are the cases where you really need to listen to your intuition and ignore those other messages. The next one is, are you too busy and stressed? Because when we're super busy and our brain gets stressed, our whole body gets stressed, and we can't listen to our intuition because we've got too much going on. There's too much going on in our head, and these messages can't get through. The last one, are you self-medicating to escape? If you're doing that, then you're actually blunting and blocking down and pushing under your intuition, as well as your feelings. So you won't be getting any messages then, because you've escaped from your reality and your intuition is in your reality. And the last one, are you living a life that keeps your intuition blocked? So is it your belief systems that are saying, no, you shouldn't listen to your intuition? Or are there other things that you're doing in your life? Maybe you've sort of got these messages, or you think it's psychic, and it is really. It's, you know, there's definitely a psychic gift in this. And you go, oh no, you know, I can't listen to that. That's rubbish. I don't believe in that. Well, I'm here to say, believe in it. It's so true. Absolutely. And I have proved it over and over again in my life. And I had another story before. I can tell that. No, doesn't matter now. It'll come up later. And so I decided to do a quote of my own. So feeding and nurturing our intuition and choosing the path that follows its wisdom is the key way to love all aspects of our life and ourselves. So take that one in. Just, okay, so it's not just about listening to it. It's feeding it. It's helping yourself get these messages and get in touch with and connected to your intuition. So, and that's the way to live the life that we love. So let's look at how these messages might come to us. And they come through gifts. And you've all heard about clairvoyance. And we go to a clairvoyant, and she or he will predict our future and tell us what's going to happen. And all they're doing is tuning into their intuition and being a channel and feeding us messages. So their messages are coming through to them and they're passing them on. But clairvoyance just means seeing clearly with our third eye, usually, our intuition, third eye. So clair meaning clear, voyance meaning seeing. So it's clear seeing. Therefore, there is also clairsentience. So the message comes to you through your feelings. There's clairsalience, which means through smell. Clairaudience or clairaudient, which means the message you hear messages. So it's like you can hear someone talking to you. And clairempathy, it comes through us through our emotions. And there was one time that happened for me it'd been about a week where I felt really bad. I just had this, this heavy feeling in my gut, like something was really wrong. Something really bad was happening. And there was nothing going on in my life that I could attribute it to. And then I came home on a Thursday night after I'd been to the ballet, and I saw my cat lying in the middle of the road, and she was dead. And she'd just been hit, and I'm going to get upset now because I'm tapping into that, that clear empathy of the memory. I'm not going to talk about that anymore, but obviously it was a different feeling because how did I know that? How could I even pick up on something like that was going to happen? That I had no control over, I couldn't change it, but I did, and it was so strong and so clear. How many of you have ever had an experience like that, where you've just felt something, or, the smells come to you and you went, oh my God, that means something? Or a thought or a vision comes to you. And how many times, when that's happened, how many times have you taken notice of it? And how many times have you pushed it away and forgotten it or ignored it after that? Because that's been your intuition passing the message through to you. So, and someone's, I think there should be another one there, because it's just, there's the knowing, there's just knowing. And I think that's more clairsentience. It's through our feelings, but it's also just an innate knowing, which is what I have very often. So how do we tap into this intuition? There's quite a few options here. The first thing is get out of your head. If you're stuck in your head and in what we call in mindfulness, the monkey mind, where there's constantly thoughts going through your head, like on the hamster wheel, we're not going to tap into it. So we have to calm the mind down. Next one is let go of negative feelings and moods, because when we're feeling bad, when we're feeling depressed or angry or negative in any form, our vibration level reduces. And that's what I talked about, and how do we keep our vibration up? But our vibration level reduces, and then we actually cut ourselves off from the level of intuition. So we go below the ability to intuit things. So we need to let go of that and get ourselves up into, a good place. On that same vein, stay away from people who don't make you feel good. If you're around people and when you've been with them or talking to them, they make you feel bad, or you feel yuck afterwards, then they're vibrating at a lower level, and you don't need that in your life because it will bring you down. So make sure you stay around people who are going to help you keep your vibration level up, people who are already vibrating at a high level. Pay attention to what's going on around you. That just means be really observant. The more you observe and take notice of what's happening, the more you will have the greater understanding you will have of what's going on, and then the more you will just know. So connect with others, and this is important. It's an openness that we need. So yeah, be open to other people, but also really observe them, because when we really observe other people from the perspective of their body language, the tone of the voice, when we're communicating, I talked about this in the other presentation on communication. When we really take notice of the other person, we read between the lines, we pick up on what's going on for them that is, that they're not saying. And, you know, I've got to this stage now where I can tell when I'm talking to someone, whether it's chatting or actually on a phone call, I can tell when they're ready to go, when they're ready to end the conversation. And I pick up on that. I can tell by the tone, I can tell what's going on in their voice. And I just say, oh, okay, then. So you need to get, I'm sure you need to get going now. And they said, oh, yes, I do. Say, okay, so we can chat later, or, and just finish it off. But also, if you're really connected like that, you will intuit what's going on for them as well as yourself. And you will just go, oh my God, that's happening. And that's something that I use, to my benefit and to my coaching clients' benefits, that I'm able to just intuit, what's happening, beyond what they're telling me. So take notice of your dreams. This is an important one. Our dreams are our subconscious sending messages to us. Sometimes I really wonder about the messages my subconscious sends me. It's like, I wake up and I go, really? Come on. Especially when it brings up a guy from the past that you've been that you wanted to let go of, and then they bring them back into your dream, and it's a really nice dream. You go, I so don't want to think about them anymore. But anyhow, I don't know what that dream was about. But yeah, if you remember your dream, try and write it down as soon as you wake up, because there's good messages from your intuition and from your subconscious in your dreams very often. Okay, find time. Being silent and still, meditation and mindfulness are very important, because that's when we free ourselves up to get the intuition, to get the messages. Stay open. As I've said, we need to be open energetically to receive these messages. And also take notice of what's happening in your body. Like, really notice what's happening in your body. Are you feeling stressed? When you think about something, does it make you feel uptight? Do you get a feeling in your gut? When we talk about gut feeling, it's real. Like, we really should listen to our gut feeling. And I have a story about that when I did that once, and I was so glad I did. I'd been unemployed for a while. I was looking for a job in sales, and I got interviewed and offered this sales manager role. It was really good money. It was, a management role. On the surface, it sounded really good. And, after being unemployed, it should have been perfect. But I didn't feel good about it. I think I picked up not good vibes from the guy who would have been my manager. And I just, instead of being excited about this job offer, I felt really sick and tight in my gut about it. And when I met with them and told them no, I walked out of there and I felt relieved. I felt like, oh, thank God that's over. Have you ever experienced that yourselves? And did you listen to that gut feeling and follow that advice? Because I heard, of course I wondered, oh my God, have I done the right thing? And I just had to sort of check in and go, yeah, you've listened to your intuition. And a few months later, I heard from a friend of mine that this guy was going around and telling people, and told her that they didn't offer me the job, and that I wasn't very good, and he was bad-mouthing me. And I just thought, oh, thank God I did not work for that person, And listen to your body. I mean, if you feel good about something, it's your intuition saying, yes, it's good for you. And if you don't, it's not. Oh, and so the next, I like this. Now, because sometimes we get stuck in our head, I should say yes. my head's saying, you know, my rationale is saying I should say yes. The logic says yes. The reason says yes. Or my friends are saying yes. But my gut says no. I don't know why, but it's saying no. So I'm saying no. And vice versa. You know, sometimes it's no, but you really, really believe it's yes. So I'm just saying, listen to that, follow that advice. So let's look at the practices of highly intuitive people who are listening to their intuition. So what do? They listen to their inner voice. They take time out for peaceful solitude. So time to just be with themselves and not necessarily, well, try not to think, but just be in a meditative state. And they practice mindfulness all the time. So that's being really aware of what's going on. And next, and I've already decided the topic for the next presentation is having a mindful mindset. Yeah, having a mindful mindset. Why is having a mindful mindset important? Or mindset of mindfulness. Anyhow, doesn't matter what the actual title is, but it's about mindfulness and mindset. So back to these people, highly intuitive people. They're very observant and they observe everything that's going on and they take it in. And they sort of take notice of it and go, oh. And I think they question it as well. It's like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder why that might be happening. So it's also having an attitude of curiosity about everything. Going, oh, okay, that's interesting. And allowing that information to come to you. They listen to their bodies, as I just talked about. They seek deep connections with others, as opposed to, you know, just light on the surface. Hi, you know, how you going? Friends that, you know, I often talk about, I've got friends that I might go out and have a drink with or have a laugh and fun with, but then I have other friends, and I need to develop more of them here in France now, where I'm looking for that soul connection, you know, people who understand me at that level and I understand them, and we're, you know, basically vibrating on a similar level there. So that's what we're sort of looking for in our life. They use their dream time, and that means that before going to bed, if they have a question, they'll consider the question in their head, in their mind, and then go to sleep with that question in their head, so that they're sending it down to the subconscious to come up with a solution while they're asleep, while they're dreaming. They create. They're just very creative at creating new things, whatever it might be, whatever your area of creativity is, but it's about creating stuff. And very importantly, they enjoy quality downtime. So that means, you know, they take time out to have a laugh, to go for a walk, to meditate, to go for a swim, to exercise, whatever it might be, you know, take time out from the brain side of things and having the brain super active to allow yourself to rest and do something that you enjoy. So the advice is, trust your intuition. You do not need to explain or justify your feelings to anyone at all. Sometimes you might want to try if you think they really understand you, but you don't have to. Just trust your own inner guidance because it knows best. So that's the end of the presentation. Now we're going to go into a short, 5 to 10 minute meditation. So we're going to meditate on what we've just been talking about today and on meditation. So everyone get somewhere, sit in your seat comfortably or lay down, whatever it is for you, whatever works for you, somewhere that you can be comfortable and chill. So I'll give you a few seconds to get comfortable there. And sit back or lean back and relax. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. And now take another really big deep breath. Push your tummy out. So breathe right into your gut. And then breathe out with a sigh. Because when we make a sound, it actually helps our body relax more. And take one more big deep breath. And out with a sigh. Now let your breath come back to normal so that you don't have to think about it. And check in. Now we'll check in with your body. Are you holding any stress in your body at the moment? Let's scan your body and see. In your head, is there any tightness? Is there any feeling of stress? What about in your neck? It's where we often tend to hold it. Move it around, move your neck and your head around a little bit to release it. And then your shoulders. Have you got any stress, any tightness in there? Down your arms, your fingers. Give them a little wiggle. Shake your shoulders a bit. And now into your chest. And then down into your abdomen, where we often feel the tightness in our gut. And also in our buttocks. God, we can tend to hold them tight sometimes. So just breathe into them and down through your legs, your thighs, your calves, your toes. Give them a bit of a wiggle and a shake. Move them around a little. And now breathe into any spots that were tight for you. Breathe, fill those areas with oxygen so that they can relax and take it easy. And now we're going to go through just our upper chakras. We're going to start with our heart chakra and open that up, because that's how we start to get messages coming to us through our heart chakra. And then up to our throat chakra. And open that up, because that's where we need to be able to speak our truth. And then very importantly for today, our third eye chakra in the middle of our forehead, because that is our intuition chakra. So open that up, ready for the messages. And then we have our crown chakra. And we're going to open that up, because above our head is the most amazing, beautiful, warm, white light. And today, this white light, as well as being healing, it's bringing intuitive messages to you. So we'll bring that white light down through our head into our third eye chakra, into our throat chakra, down through our shoulders and our arms. And then the white light is coming all the way down through our chest, around our heart, down through our gut, into our legs and our feet. And then it keeps going, and it's going down into the earth, and it's bringing up strength from the earth. strength to us to bring up that grounding of the earth. And then it's coming back up, this stronger white light, back up through our body and around us. And it's putting strength around our heart and strength into our throat chakra, and especially around our third eye. And it's enveloping our third eye and opening up our crown to receive intuitive messages. So let's focus on what the messages were today in the presentation. Let's look at how do you listen to your intuition? Can you think of instances where you have received the message and then have you followed the advice? Have you done what the message said? And how did that turn out for you? If you did follow it, how good was it? If you didn't follow it, what happened? What was the outcome for you? And now take a moment to think about how easily you receive messages. Do you do things that are blocking your intuition out of what we listed in the presentation? What things are coming to you? Because whatever comes to you now is your intuition and telling you, and listen to it. What might you need to change to be more in touch with your intuition? I'll leave you for a few moments to just consider that. And now, whilst we have your third eye and your crown chakra open, and this light is shining, beaming in throughout your body, ask yourself, what messages are right for you today? What's your higher self want to tell you today? And now you've got some things, some messages that have come to you. You've probably got some actions that you thought that you've come up with that you could do to help you be more in touch and more connected with your intuition. Some things that you can do. So thank your higher self for those messages today. And when you're ready, feel that white light going through your body still. You can close up the chakras, but keep the white light with you in your heart, in your throat, so that you can speak your truth, and in your third eye, so that you can listen and hear your messages from your intuition. And then start to bring yourself back into your body, back into the room. Feel the seat or the floor underneath you. Start to maybe move around a little bit and feel yourself coming back into this meeting we're in here. And when you're ready, open up your eyes and come back and join us. You can't, so that's the end of the presentation. I want to, for those watching the video, I want to thank you for your attention and for getting to the end of it. I am Janeen from Club MojoCircle. My contact details are there if you want to contact me. But the message is, I love this message from your intuition. I have your back. So listen to your intuition. Thank you very much.